Hey everybody, it's Luke over at Galaxy Tech Review, and today I've got a product from NUU Mobile. This is the B30 Pro 5G Android phone. This has a dual curved design, front and back. It does have a nice 6.7-inch AMOLED display. It's got a MediaTek Dimensity 7050 chipset with 12 gigs of RAM and 256 gigabytes of storage. We're going to dig into this now, and I'll be right back. Okay, so today we've got the B30 Pro 5G from NUU Mobile, and this is the packaging that it comes in. I did want to kind of show you how it comes packed up so that you can see what you're going to get here out of the box. This also includes a 5,000 milliamp battery, 12 gigs of RAM, and 256 gigabytes of storage, and those are just the basics. We'll get into some of more in-depth stats here in just a few moments, but right now we want to just show you what comes in the box. You obviously will get the phone itself. Only comes in this one color. It's kind of like a steel grayish blue color here. Triple camera setup, as you can see on the back. You do get a two-prong AC to USB Type-C 30-watt power adapter. You can charge this up to 30 watts. So it does come in the box with this as well. So you do have this and you're ready to go. So it's nice that they include one in the box, so you will get that. You won't have to worry about that at all. You get a SIM ejector tool, and you also get a USB Type-C to USB Type-C charge cable in the box, of course, for you as well from NUU Mobile. So this is what you'll be using to recharge your phone. It does not have wireless charging, so you will have to use a wired connection to charge the phone. We don't get a lot of other things in the box. I think we might get a little bit of documentation here in the bottom. Yes, we do. We get some stickers from NUU. We also get some getting started with your B30 Pro 5G. And we do get a nice little case for it as well. So they do include a clear case for this to put your phone in. So it's nice that they include that as an extra to get you started. Okay, so let's talk about the build quality and the specs on this particular phone. You have dual curved edges, meaning the front and the back glass are both curved, which makes it super easy to hold, very comfortable rounded edges. You do have a Dimensity 7050 2.6 gigahertz octa-core processor, a 6.7-inch AMOLED Full HD Plus 1080 by 2400 resolution with 120 hertz refresh rate. You do have that 5,000 milliamp battery in there with 30 watt fast charging, 12 gigs of RAM, 256 gigabytes of storage, and an in-display fingerprint ID sensor. You do have NFC here. You do have GPS, of course, Bluetooth 5.2, and Wi-Fi 6. You also have VoLTE over LTE, so you can make Wi-Fi calls. And we have a triple camera sensor on the back, a 108 megapixel main sensor, an 8 megapixel wide sensor, a 2 megapixel macro sensor, and you also have a front selfie camera that is 32 megapixels. Out of the box, you have Android 13, and NUU Mobile says that Android 14 will be available for this device when it is ready to go. Okay, so let's talk the installed apps and overall software that's included with the device. Super fast here with its 120 hertz screen, no problems whatsoever here. You can see that we do have up to 256 gigabytes of storage here, 12 gigabytes of RAM, and it is running on Android 13 out of the box. So you will have Android 13 when you buy the phone, but NUU Mobile says they are working on Android 14, so you should get an OS update in the future. Now again, this is pretty much stock Android as it is. There is not a lot of bloatware here. NUU Mobile does put its help app on here, and that's really the only thing that I see that is added in by NUU Mobile themselves. And of course, looking at that app, you can remove it from the home screen, but you can't uninstall it. So it is baked into their operating system or their build number here. But everything else that you pretty much see in here, except for the few apps that I've installed, is all Google. Google Messages, the Play Store, Google Drive, Chrome as your default browser, everything. So this is a pretty pure Android experience as far as the software goes. Okay, so let's talk cameras. Now on the back here, we've got a triple camera setup here. We do have our 108 megapixel main sensor, our 8 megapixel wide sensor, and our 2 megapixel macro camera. And on the front, we do have a 32 megapixel selfie camera here. And they all do a fairly good job at photography. If we look at the actual app, it is going to be your basic Android camera app here with night, video, photo. We've got a few other modes here as well, of course. Picture, portraits, face beauty, which is something that's going to kind of soften the image a little bit more. You do have panorama and a few more as well, such as our 108 megapixel mode, our macro mode as well. So if you want to get close-up pictures, you do have that use of that macro sensor there on the back that will allow you to get some pretty decent macro pictures. You can see if we zoom in here, there's really good detail here overall on the macro lens. And if we go back and maybe check some other ones out, like our 108 megapixel, we can check that out as well. You'll see that we can get some serious detail. We also at the bottom here have slow motion. We've got time lapse, and we also have a pro mode as well. So if you want to use pro mode, you can. It'll allow you to adjust your EV, your ISO, your white balance, and so on to get exactly what you would like to out of your camera experience on the B30 Pro 5G. Okay, so here's a shot of a sample of the main lens at 1x on the B30 Pro 5G, and you can see at 2x we can get that nice crop in, still pretty nice on the actual details that we get. And if we do our ultra wide or 0.6, you can see that it widens everything up a lot and does not distort the edges of the image too much. So the main camera lens and sensors do a pretty good job. Moving on over to the selfie camera here. This is just a normal shot taken on a overcast day, and I do like how this came out for the light that I had available to me at the time. The details are good on the selfie camera, and overall it worked out pretty well. Here's another example that I took at 1x on the main sensor here of this little statue that I have. And this came out again pretty nice with good details and color representation. Moving out to the wide angle view, we lose a little bit of the saturation as you can see, but still have real to life colors on here, and overall a solid job. Okay, so these are the rear cameras, so you get an idea of what they sound like for microphone pickup, and also what you're getting as in quality with EIS for stabilization. So that is what you get there. You can see that we've got some pretty decent stabilization here. Cars going by. So overall, this is a sample of the rear cameras. Okay, so looking at the performance here, our Geekbench scores on this particular device is a single core score of 1093 and a multi-core score of 2619, which puts it in the realm of the mid-range Android device. Again, nothing too over or under what I would expect with this particular CPU combination that they have in the B30 Pro 5G. Now moving on to a speed test. This particular phone accepts a bunch of different bands, and most of them seem to be in the T-Mobile range. You can see some compatible carriers that I listed directly from their website, but I am connected to T-Mobile in the US here, and we're going to do a quick speed test on T-Mobile's network with the B30 Pro 5G. Now you can see that I'm getting about 200 megabits per second, and that is fine for my area. I have had other phones that are about the same. Again, this is going to be location dependent, wherever you're located, how close you are to the nearest tower, things like that. So 205 megabits per second download and about 29 or 30 megabits upload is what we're getting here from T-Mobile here in my area. And again, that's going to vary depending on where you're located. Now taking a look at gaming, I just have some basic gaming on this. This will definitely do more games than what I'm testing. You'll be able to do PUBG on this. You'll be able to do, Fortnite or any other type of games that you are interested in playing. I'm just using Subway Surfers as a quick little example here. It's got snappy performance, no problems whatsoever, no hitches in it when I'm using this, and that's what I would expect out of Dimensity chip here, the 7050. It will do no problems whatsoever. You should be able to do most of the gaming that you are accustomed to being able to do on Android without any hitches or freezes or anything like that. So overall, gaming is definitely a go here and not a problem for the B30 Pro. Now there is one con that I did want to mention, that if you take a look at DRM info, our Widevine security level is L3, which means that it's software only, which means that if you're going to be streaming videos from things like Netflix or Vudu or Fandango at home, places like that are going to limit you to SD only playback, 480p. And that is a shame, since we have a 6.7 inch AMOLED 1080 by 2400 screen here. As you can see, I'm on Fandango right now, and the colors look great. The AMOLED screen looks great, but it is locked into SD playback. It will not allow me to do HDX, which would be 1080p. And I didn't expect it, of course, to let me do 4K, but 1080p on a screen like this should definitely be allowed, and something that I think that NUU Mobile should work on. Just to give you an idea, again, the movie looks good because the screen is nice, but being able to play back in at least 1080p on streaming services would make more sense here. Of course, using things like YouTube to play back videos, I can manually set it to 4K, and it will play back 4K files. No problems whatsoever, with no stuttering, no hitches. You can see good color representation, just looks fantastic. Really, where it comes down to is that Widevine certification, limiting you on DRM sites like Netflix, Prime Video, Hulu, things like that. That's where you're going to have to deal with SD video. We also have dual speakers, one at the top and one at the bottom. So we do want to test our speakers here and let you hear what the speaker quality is on the B30 Pro 5G. So there you go. That's my review of the NUU Mobile B30 Pro 5G. Again, if you're looking for a mid-range smartphone in the Android arena, this is a pretty nice offering from NUU Mobile. The only downside that I did find was that Widevine certification, kind of limiting that nice display that they have on this to SD playback when you're doing video streaming. Other sites like YouTube or built-in videos on your storage will have no problems with higher resolution playbacks, but it is something that you should be aware of. The screen is gorgeous. The cameras do an excellent job overall, and it's got a nice 5,000 milliamp battery that's going to last you for quite some time. You get 30-watt charging on this, although you do not get wireless charging. Again, in the mid-range Android arena, this is a fairly solid offering. This was Luke from Galaxy Tech Review. I hope you enjoyed my review, and I'll check you guys out on the next one.